I found out my husband's best friend had free access to our home, and I was called crazy when I questioned it. I stopped feeling safe in my own home about 3 months ago. It wasn't a break-in, and nothing was ever missing. It was the opposite. Things were being adjusted. A chair moved an inch to the left, the scent of heavy, expensive cigars in the mudroom. And the most chilling part, the toilet seat left up in the guest bathroom when I'd been home alone all day. My husband David has a best friend named Marcus. They've been inseparable since grade school. Marcus is the kind of guy who doesn't believe in boundaries. He calls at 2 a.m. He crashes on our couch without asking. But lately, it felt like Marcus was a ghost haunting our floorboards. David, was Marcus here today? I asked one evening, trying to keep my voice light. David didn't even look up from his laptop. No, why would he be? He's working the double shift. The guest towels are damp, I said, and someone drank the last of the ginger ale. I bought that this morning. David finally looked at me, but his expression wasn't concerned. It was hideous. Babe, you're doing that thing again, he sighed. The overthinking thing. I drank the soda. I used the towel. You hate ginger ale, David. You say it tastes like medicine. He slammed his laptop shut. God, Sarah, are you tracking my taste buds now? You're sounding paranoid. It's actually getting a little scary. That was the first time he used the word paranoid. Over the next few weeks, the reminders of my supposed mental decline became constant. I'd find a pair of boots by the door that weren't David's. When I pointed them out, David would look at the empty floor and ask me what boots I was talking about. I'd hear a door click shut in the basement while David was at work. When I'd call him crying, he'd tell me to take a nap. You're stressed, Sarah. Your mother had those episodes, remember? Maybe it's starting for you too. That hit low. My mother had struggled with early onset dementia. He knew that was my darkest fear. He started suggesting I take herbal supplements for anxiety. He started talking to my friends behind my back, telling them I was struggling with reality. I felt like I was drowning in a room full of air. The breaking point happened on a Tuesday. I came home early from work because I had a migraine. The house was silent. I walked into our bedroom, and the smell of that cigar smoke was thick, suffocating. I looked at our nightstand. There was a ring of condensation from a glass of water. A glass I didn't leave there. Then I heard it. A muffled laugh from the hallway closet. I grabbed a heavy glass vase from the dresser. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped it. I flung the closet door open. It wasn't a burglar. It was Marcus. He was sitting on a storage bin, scrolling on his phone like he was waiting for a bus. Marcus, what the hell are you doing in my closet? I screamed. He didn't look scared. He looked bored. Hey, Sarah, relax. David said I could hang out here while the cable guy was at my place. In my closet? In the dark? Where is your key, Marcus? He held up a silver key on a lanyard. David gave it to me months ago. Said I could come and go whenever. He didn't tell you? I felt the world tilt. No, he told me I was hallucinating you. I waited for David to get home. I sat on the sofa with Marcus's key on the coffee table. When David walked in, he saw Marcus, then he saw the key, then he saw me. For a split second, I saw the mask slip. He looked annoyed that the game was over. David, I said, my voice sounding like it was coming from underwater. Why is Marcus hiding in our closet? Why did you tell me I was going crazy? David didn't apologize. He didn't even look guilty. He walked over, picked up the key, and handed it back to Marcus. I told you she was getting twitchy, man, David said to Marcus, laughing. I told you to be quieter. Now she's going to make a whole thing out of this. A whole thing? I stood up, the rage finally burning through the fog. You let him live in our shadows. You let me believe I was losing my mind like my mother. That is psychological torture, David. David stepped toward me, his face hardening. It was a joke, Sarah. At first, it was just a prank to see if you'd notice. Then you got so worked up, it became funny to see how far we could push it. You're so high-strung, we wanted to see if we could actually make you snap. A joke, I whispered. Yeah, Marcus chimed in, grinning. You should have seen your face when I moved your car keys to the fridge. Classic. The room went cold. They weren't even hiding it anymore. They were proud of it. Get out, I said. It's my house too, Sarah. David scoffed. No, I said, picking up my phone. I've been recording this entire conversation since you walked through the door. The part where you admitted to gaslighting me, the part where Marcus admitted to entering without my knowledge. I looked at David. I'm calling your mother. Then I'm calling a lawyer. Then I'm calling the police to escort Marcus off the property for trespassing, since I never authorized that key. David's face went from smug to terrified in 3 seconds. Sarah, wait. It was just a joke. Don't be dramatic. I'm not being dramatic, I said, dialing the first 3 digits. I'm being paranoid. Isn't that what you wanted? I watched them both scramble for the door. I changed the locks that night. I didn't just lose a husband. I found my goddamn mind again. And it's sharper than he ever realized.